Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimakung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you a part of Great Expectations.
As.
Ah.
Great Expectations. Charles Dickens. Chap. 29 sec 1. Betimes in the morning I was up and out. It was too early yet to go to Miss Havisham's. Thought I could go there tomorrow thinking about my patroness and painting brilliant pictures of her plans for me. She had adopted Estella. She had as good as adopted me, and it could not fail to be her intention to bring us together. She reserved it for me to restore the desolate house, admit the sunshine into the dark rooms, set the clocks going and the cold hearths blazing, tear down the cobwebs, destroy the vermin in short, do all the shining deeds of the young knight of romance, and marry the princess. I had stopped to look at the house as I passed, and its sealed red brick walls, blocked windows, and strong green ivy clasping even the stacks of chimneys with its tendons, as if with sinew-old arms, had made up a rich attractive mystery, of which I was the hero. Estella was the inspiration of it, and the heart of it, of course. But though she had taken such strong possession of me, though my fancy and my hope were so set upon her, though her influence on my boyish life and character had been all-powerful, I did not, even that romantic morning, invest her with any attributes save those she possessed. I mention this in this place, of a fixed purpose. Labyrinth. According to my experience, the conventional notion of a lover cannot be always true. The unqualified truth is that when I loved Estella with the love of a man, I loved her simply because I found her irresistible. Once for all, I knew to my sorrow, often and often, if not always, that I loved her against reason, against promise, against space, against hope, against happiness, against all discouragement that could be. Once for all, I loved her nonetheless because I knew it, her to be human perfection. 10. When I had wrung out the bowl with an unsteady hand, I turned my back upon the gate. Quiet. I had the side door open, and steps come across the courtyard, but I pretended not to hear, even when the gate swung on its rusty hinges. Being at last touched on the shoulder, I started and turned. I started much more naturally then, to find myself confronted by a man in a sober grey dress. Miss Havisham's door. Al. Young master, there's more changes than yours, but come in. Come in. I entered and he swung it, and locked it, and took the key out. Yes, said he, facing round, after doggedly preceding me a few steps towards the house. I come here, he retorted, on my legs. I ain't here for harm. Young master. I was not so sure of that. I had leisure to entertain the retort in my mind, while he slowly lifted his heavy glance from the pavement, up my legs and arms, to my face. Then you have left the forge, I said. Do this look like a forge? Replied Orlek, sending his glance all around him with an air of injury. Anne. I asked him how long he had left Gorgie's forge. One day is like another year, he replied. That I don't know without casting it up. However, I could have told you that. Ah, said he, dryly. By this time we had come to the house, where I found his room to be one just within the side door, with a little window in it looking on the courtyard. In its small proportions, it was not unlike the kind of place usually assigned to a gate porter in Paris. Certain keys were hanging on the wall, to which he now added the gate key, and his patchwork-covered bed was in a little inner division or recess. The whole had a slovenly, confined, and sleepy look, like a cage for a human dormouse. Wily, looming dark and heavy in the shadow of a corner by the window, looked like the human dormouse for whom it was fitted up, as indeed he was. I never saw this room before, I remarked. No, said he. Not till God about that there was no protection on the premises, and it come to be considered dangerous, with convicts at Tag and Reg and Bobtail going up and down, men as good as he bought, and high to get. It's easier than belausing and hammering. That's loaded. My head been caught by a gun with a brass band stuck over the chimney piece, and his eye had followed mine. Well, said I, not desirous of more conversation. Then me. If I know, he retorted, first stretching himself and then shaking himself. My orders here. Master. I give this here bill a rap with this here hammer. I am expected. Bring me twice over, if I can say, said he. Upon that, I turned down the long passage which I had first trodden in my thick boot, and he made his bell sound. At the end of the passage, while the bell was still reverberating, I found Sarah Pocket, who appeared to have now become constitutionally green and yellow by reason of me. Or said she, You. Is it? Mister. It is. Miss Pocket. I am glad to tell you that, mister. Are they any wiser? Said Sarah, with a dismal shake of the head. They had better be wiser. Than well. Ah. Matthew. You know you're a. Tolerably. For I had gone up the staircase in the dark. Many a time. I ascended it now, in lighter boots than of yore, and tapped in my old way at the door of Miss Havisham's room. Bit sharp, I heard her say. Immediately. Come in. She was in her chair near the old table, in the old dress, with her two hands crossed on her stick, her chin resting on them, and her eyes on the fire. Sitting near her, with the white shoe that had never been worn in her hand, and her head bent as she looked at it, was an elegant lady whom I had never seen. "Come in." Pip, Miss Havisham continued to mutter, without looking round or up. "Come in." "In." "How do you do?" "Pip." "So you kiss my hand as if I were a queen." She looked up at me suddenly, only moving her eyes, and repeated in a grimly playful manner, "I heard." "Miss Havisham," said I, rather at a loss, "that you were so kind as to wish me to come and see you." The lady, whom I had never seen before, lifted up her eyes and looked archly at me, and then I saw that the eyes were as still as eyes. But she was so much changed, was so much more beautiful, so much more womanly, in all things winning admiration, had made such wonderful advance, that I seemed to have made none. I fancied, as I looked at her, that I slipped hopelessly back into the coarse and coming boy again. Oh, the sense of distance and disparity that came upon me, and the inaccessibility that came about her. She gave me her hand. I stammered something about the pleasure I felt in seeing her again, and about my having looked forward to it for a long time. "Do you find her much changed, Pip?" asked Miss Havisham, with her greedy look, and striking her stick upon a chair that stood between them, as a sign to me to sit down there. "When I came in, Miss Havisham, I thought there was nothing of Estella in the face figure." "What? You are not going to say into the old Estella," Miss Havisham interrupted. "She was proud and insulting, and you wanted to go away from her." I said confusedly that that was long ago, and that I knew no better then, and the like. To be continued.